All right, so got another project going here, and welcome to a new Discount TED video. So I've recorded like 3 of them today in transparency, so we'll see how long it takes me to edit and publish them. But on the 135 track car, one of the things that really grinds my gears, as the most famous person from Quahog would say, is that BMW and Porsche and several of the German OEMs decide to use lug bolts as opposed to lug studs, or wheel bolts as opposed to wheel studs. And I went ahead and bought a stud conversion. So what I got was from Motorsport Hardware. I did a little bit of research on a bunch of the vendors out there. Motorsport Hardware says all the right things, makes all the right stuff. So these are, a high quality steel, and I think with the lugs and everything, it was like $90 or so. Which, for slightly extended, I didn't need wildly extended because I'm not running huge spacers or anything, but slightly extended, black nuts, and I did the bull nose or round nose as opposed to the Allen nose ones. So I'll show you how we install those. But $90 was substantially cheaper than say some of the options from like ECS Tuning and other like Renline, what have you. I don't think there's anything wrong with those. I just don't think they're appreciably better than these for twice the money or 50% more money. So that's why I went with Motorsport Hardware. We'll see if I recommend them after I get everything done. But some of the stuff that they recommend here, or their I suppose their installation instructions, I suppose it's stronger than a recommendation. The first thing, clean wheel hub threads with pipe cleaner and solvent if necessary. Not going to do that. Then install into the hub with medium or blue thread locker. I've got red thread locker here. I'm not going to go buy blue thread locker for it, so we'll use red. It says torque black race studs to 25 foot-pounds. I'm just going to get them good and tight. I'll get close to 25 foot-pounds with my own hands. I'm just not going to bother to break out my torque wrench for 25 foot-pounds. Install any spacers and then your wheels. Install nuts with a deep socket. If you live in a wet or snow climate, which I do, best to use anti-seize. I'm not going to do that. Ensure your stud is long enough by getting at least 7 full turns. Yeah, fine. Using a proper torque wrench. Not going to do that. And these are, I think, 14 by 125. I don't know. Let me actually hang on. Let's double check. What is the thread on these? Here's a little guide tool that I bought as a band-aid to this. Dang, and it's not labeled. Well, isn't that helpful? In any case, it's 90 or 105 foot-pounds. Again, do not use an impact gun, pneumatic or electric. Great. For this installation, I'm going to use a breaker bar and some good judgment. So, I'll go through the installation process, and the big benefit this is going to give me is, for as often as I'm putting wheels on, taking wheels off, doing brake flushes, checking brake pads, all that stuff, this is just a whole lot faster as opposed to having to take one bolt out, put this guide in, then take the rest of the bolts out, slide it out on this guide, take this guide off, go to the next wheel, do all that. Instead, I'm going to have 5 guides on there, one each stud, and you toss it on there, throw your nuts on, and tighten it up, or undo them, pull it off the studs, you're set. So like an American car or a Japanese car. So I'm looking forward to having this done, and hopefully this helps you guys do it as well. Okay, so let's look at what we've got here. We've got 20 studs and 20 nuts, and then they've also given me a couple of silver nuts here. They sell like their extreme or like race nuts as well. I didn't think that was necessary. But what I'm going to do is pop this open, and I'll show you how we install these bullnose ones. I'm going to start on the rear here because I've got the parking brake set, so that'll give me enough resistance When I get to the fronts, I'm going to need an assistant to go in and press the brake pedal so that it doesn't move on me. In my case, I've already got the car jacked up and everything, but to be honest, like, you could do this with just a jack and no jack stands even. You know, I just happen to have it up in the air to where it's easier. So use a screwdriver to just get that bag popped open. Just get a hole in it. And let's get one of these studs out. So looking at the studs, you can see there's like this shoulder here, and then we've got this longer portion, and then this is a bull nose one. So they also make Allen nose ones where you put an Allen wrench in the end, and that's how you tighten these up. There's probably nothing wrong with these, but the bull nose ones are a little easier to guide your bolt onto, in my opinion, and I think just look better. But you know, anyway, these were also on a clearance sale and a little cheaper than the Allen ones. So all those things combined made me choose these. But what that means is that I can't, you know, just like hand thread this in there. Instead, what I'm going to have to do is grab the 2 bolts that they give me, and we're going to go all the way on, get it good and tight. Come on. I want to make sure we get plenty of turns on there to get it snug. Now we're going to take a second one and go on there. And these should both be 17s. Yeah. Yeah. So I have another 17 around, but odds are you don't. So you can also use the good old all 16ths or all numbers or crescent wrench, whatever you want to call it. So pop one on there, pop the other on there, and just get it tight. And then now what we've done, I can just tighten on this outside one, and it'll tighten in there. So it does say to use some thread locker. I've got some Loctite red, called for blue. I don't care. And we'll go ahead and get it installed. So and using thread locker, you don't have to use a whole lot. Just use a little bit there. There you can see it came through. Put it into the orifice. Get it in there. And then I'm going to go grab. So this calls for 25 foot-pounds. Using a breaker bar is probably a bad idea to try and set 25 foot-pounds. Just because you have so much torque on that, it's likely that you'll over-torque it. This is a just, you know, half-inch drive ratchet, and that's probably about 25. So now you're saying to yourself, well, great, I gotta get these I gotta get those bolts off. How do I do that without loosening the thing? And the answer is carefully, but really what you do is you hold one, put this one in, and you tighten this one, so it's going to separate the two back inwards. So now it's off, and now just using my fingers, I can take it back off and carefully take this one off. I don't want to unscrew it because if you remember, it fought me just a little bit getting it on there. And now we repeat. So 1 down, 19 to go. Boom. Andrew. All right, so now I've got all 5 studs in there, and then from now on, when I need to put wheels on, take them off, all my guidance will be right here on the studs themselves, and I'll just use the nuts. I got these all pretty tight, and I'll get the wheel nuts or the lug nuts pretty tight as well. I'll also, because these are new, like all new bolts, new Loctite in there, new nuts. I'll be a bit arduous on my first few drives. Just go through, check, make sure everything's still snug. So get these on, and then for the next like 5-6 times I drive it, make sure that they're good and tight, and then before every track day, make sure that they're good and tight before the first session. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys if you've got a Porsche, Beamer, Audi, any of those that use these wheel bolts. There's nothing technically wrong with the wheel bolt, but it's just annoying, and I still don't understand why they made that decision. But in any case, I've made the decision for myself that this is what I want. Alright, sorry for the bad audio. Mike died. He'll survive. But real quick, I just want to show you what I mentioned. Why I wanted to do this was that it's a pain putting wheels on and taking them off when you don't have them. If you've ever fumbled with taking off or putting on your BMW wheels, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. And now that I've got my studs on, bang, bang. Line up 1, 2, done. Easy. There you go. Just wanted to show a final result. So here you can see the new wheel studs and wheel bolts on, and I've got plenty of shoulder there if I want to go with crazy spacers and do a fender flares and all that kind of junk, but I'm not going to. So anyway, just wanted to show the final result. So you can see black studs, black nuts, and plenty of space there. Thanks.